Damn
Okay.
it.
All right. Let's move to your team. Final preview of the night. Duke against Michigan State. You literally dropped your phone last night when we were recording yesterday's episode and said, Greg, I know we're not supposed to look at things when we're recording, but I have some breaking news. Duke is only 2.5-point favorites against Michigan State. It is the second smallest line in the history of Duke versus Michigan State games. That's what I was told. Notoriously, Tom Izzo has struggled with Coach K. That was his thing. He got him in the big one, right? He got over the hump with Cassius Winston over Zion Williamson. But over the course of their careers, Duke has pretty much owned Michigan State. Coach K is gone. Duke's still really talented. Duke coming off a big loss at home to Arizona. The spread is surprising, though. I would have thought this would be like a 5-point spread, not a 2.5-point spread. And before I throw it over to you, I just want to add one final note here. Last year in this game, Malik Hall had 20 points and 5 rebounds in 42 minutes in a 9-point win over Kentucky at the Champions Classic. Ball's in your court, my friend. What do you expect from this game?
We unfortunately are getting a pissed off Duke team. We are. They had a lot of, number 2 preseason team in the country coming in. Filipowski back, Tyrese Proctor back, and they let Arizona come into their crib and win that basketball game. And I don't think they necessarily played that well. I would highly doubt that Duke has 2 bad games in a row. I think they're too good for that. I think they're going to run away with this game fairly easily. We're not going to be able to defensive rebound. They have a 7-footer in Filipowski who is averaging 25 and 8 on the season, I believe. Mark Mitchell's a really good rebounder. We are going to struggle to defensive rebound in this game. I just don't necessarily know what is the path to win this game. I do know what the path is. I think the path is that Michigan State's guards can outplay Duke's guards, because I think that's what Arizona's guards did. I think Arizona's guards outplayed Duke's guards. So if we can get, the reminding folks who I am, AJ Hoggard, if we get Kansas State AJ Hoggard or Marquette AJ Hoggard, we'll have a chance to win this game. But I'm not banking on that. I think that Duke easily covers 2.5. I think they probably end up winning this game by probably about 8 points, I would say, maybe more. But I do think Michigan State will stay in it, but Duke will pull away at the end. I just think they have too much for Michigan State right now.
Okay. Yeah, I had a big tweet drafted up tonight that I ultimately did not tweet, partially because I was thinking of conserving your mental and emotional well-being, to be honest, my friend. But I had a big tweet drafted up that was like a play on words of AJ's tweet that was basically like, they didn't know that Doug knows that he is who AJ thinks he is not, but he is. Like, just getting really convoluted there. I don't know why I feel obligated to share that with you, but you brought up AJ Hoggard, and I felt like it was appropriate to say. There's this thing with AJ, right? Like, he's a big game guy. That's what people say, right? Is he actually a big game guy? Like, do we know that for sure?
I wouldn't constitute him as such.
He's had very good moments in big games, and he's had very good moments in regular season games. He's also had very bad moments in big games, and he's had very bad moments in regular. Like, to me, it's not like he's great in this type of game always. It's that AJ's never great always. He's great sometimes. It seems entirely random to me when he's great and when he's not. And maybe I'm reading that wrong, and you guys can tell me otherwise. But that's truly my belief, because like last year, Champions Classic, AJ played 35 minutes. He was 1 for 7 from the floor, finished with 4 points. Is that a great game? He had 9 assists, but like, that wasn't a great game. He had 5 turnovers. Like, that's not a great AJ Hoggard game. I know he had the counting stats late a lot last year. His scoring really took an uptick, but I don't know, like the whole Big Ten tournament game where he was on the bench with the bat, but that was a big game. It was a big game.
Yeah.
That he was having a meltdown for. So I don't know that I buy that he's just a guaranteed good big game player. With that said, I do buy that very soon, at some point, AJ is going to have a great game, because he always goes from really bad to really good super randomly. And the numbers would say, based on 2 consecutive really bad AJ games, you're due for a really good AJ game. I just don't think it has anything to do with like him flipping a switch because he's playing Duke tonight. I think it's more just utterly random. What'd you make of Izzo's comments? He had more press conference stuff, and basically he doubled down on his vets today. Did you see that quote?
Yeah,
Do you
I just don't really
care?
take.
Do we need to keep doing this? Do you care?
No, I don't really. I don't. Not about this because I just think that Izzo is just who he exactly. I mean, he is who he is. Like you always say, like AJ is who he is, Malik is who he is. Izzo is who he is. Like I think he's always gonna say, no matter what, that like I'm gonna believe in my vets. It rides on the vets. It always rides on the vets. I don't think in his career he's ever said anything like, "Oh, it's all on the freshmen this year," no matter how good or how bad the freshmen are, the vets are, whatever it is. So for this game, like for the comments like this, I don't really put much into them. I'm more so actually looking about what happens when the ball is actually tipped off and how he operates in that moment, not more so what he's doing in in these weekly press conferences.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that. So back to on-court stuff. My thing with Duke is I think that they are one of the only teams in the country I think can actually say they have a better backcourt than Michigan State and mean it. And it's true. I think it's true. At least given the current state. Like what do I expect who's going to show up tomorrow based on what we've seen this season? I would expect better play from Tyrese Proctor and Jeremy Roach and Jared McCain than I would from AJ Hoggard, Tyson Walker, and Jaden Akins. I think if you were listing those 6 players in order of who you trust the most, Tyson Walker is at 1. Honestly, I might put Jeremy Roach at 2. I might put Tyrese Proctor 3. I might put Jared McCain 4. And then I might pick and choose AJ or Jaden at 5 and 6 based on what we've seen this season. And that's the thing is like it to me, in order for Michigan State to get back on track, if he's doubling down on the veterans right now, you kind of just need a matchup with a team that can't match up with those guards. And on paper, Duke is a team that can match up with your guards, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But also the thing is like, I don't know. There's a lot riding on AJ tomorrow and how he plays, both offensively and defensively, because I think he's going to get a shot at Proctor. And I think that Proctor, is a player that can, I don't know if he really wants smoke like that. Like, I don't really know if he wants to go head to head and get in a battle with somebody. I think that Jeremy Roach is a player that will be down to go one-on-one with anybody, whether it's good or bad. I don't know if Tyrese Proctor wants to be that guy.
Can we flesh this out a little more? So I love this take. First of all, I think you're spot on. I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's what we saw happen in Arizona Duke. We saw an Arizona backcourt of Boswell and Caleb Love, and to an extent, Jaden Bradley, who all 3 were like, give me Proctor.
Yeah.
And they feasted at times. And Proctor had some big moments. He hit a big shot late, but more often than not, Proctor didn't want smoke. Is AJ ready for that challenge tonight?
I think that if there is a player that AJ would revel in, like, you can't cower to AJ Hoggard. He's the type of player I think that sees that, and that's when he starts getting himself going and talking to the crowd and calling himself WAP. Like, that's when he really gets in his mode. So, like, you can't give him a little sliver of like you're scared of him. And I truly, I'm not saying Tyrese Proctor's scared or anything like that, but I don't know if he's striking fear in anybody right now.
Wow. Okay. I
would call it like you see it, Greg. 3 guards from another team came into his house, and Filipowski was begging for someone to help him out. He's in foul trouble. He put up 25 and 10. He was waiting for somebody else. The so-called first-team All-American was nowhere to be found.
Yeah. So I love that we're doing psychoanalysis of these guys, and that's where we're starting with the game analysis. So I think you're right about AJ. I just think it's hilarious that that's who AJ is. Like the same guy who tweets the notepad emoji is the guy that, like, if you give him a dude who's scared, he'll taunt and go right through him and dominate and let him know about it. if you give him a dude who doesn't back down from it, like if you gave him the Arizona guards that we just talked about that did this to Proctor, what's happening if Boswell and Caleb Love show up against AJ Ogard?
I think those two guys going at each other. I think that it would be who bends or breaks first. And right now it'd probably be AJ, but I think that it would be like we're gonna see who it is. If we're doing it right now, I think Tyrese Proctor is gonna be the guy that's gonna break.
Okay. But what happens if you put like Northern Indiana's guards against AJ?
This season, I don't know.
And just like, because like he's been so bad, man. We don't need to like benchmark it the best guards in the country that are going to cause AJ problems. Like AJ is causing himself problems against anybody right now. So like there's a lot of hope of like, let's just hope that changes. And it has changed a lot before in his career. It could happen. I said, 4 days ago, I said Michigan State was going to win this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came on this very program. I said it. I said that was my prediction. I fully plan on doubling down on that prior to Duke losing to Arizona. Straight up, I thought a big element of this game was going to be Duke feeling themselves, reading the newspaper headlines, these young kids being like, we got it. Michigan State's down, and showing up not prepared, and you get an Izzo masterclass against John Shire. First time that Izzo's played John Shire, right? I was really excited for that. Now we don't get that. Now we get a pissed off Duke with a coach that you just said you are scared of a couple of days ago. John Shire is one of the best coaches in the country right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is why Duke is going to win this game, and this is why I'm flipping my prediction. We've just spent 10 minutes talking about this game. We haven't mentioned the no-brainer best player in the game, who, by the way, is a much bigger mismatch for anybody on the Michigan State side than anyone in the backcourt would ever be in this game. Kyle Filipowski will do whatever he wants in this game. Michigan State is not going to have an answer. The only answer you have is the only guy shaped like him at all. It's Malik Hall, who is totally unplayable. He's totally unplayable right now.
And Malik Hall is also, like, if you give me Malik Hall from Seton Hall, the game everyone talks about 2 years ago, he still can't mess with Flip. Flip is 7 foot. Malik Hall is 6'7".
Flip's crazy. Okay, now I'm talking myself into this though. Are they going to go to Cohen Carr quickly on Flip? And what do you think happens if Cohen Carr gets the Flip assignment?
I think that Flip scores 30.
Flip takes him to school, right?
Yeah.
What if it's Xavier Booker?
I think Flip scores 30.
Xavier Booker has the length though.
He does, but I think that Flip scores 30. I don't think there is anybody on this Michigan State team that will prevent him from scoring 30.
So you think this is just like a baptism moment? Flip is that good. There is no answer.
Unless he's in serious foul trouble or he's just straight up smoking shots, he will get 30.
Okay. I'm with you on that, which is why I think, like, by default, if you think that's going to happen from Flip, don't you have to pick Duke in this game?
Yeah.
Like, what would Michigan State's guards need to do? If Flip gets 30, what do they need from the guards to win this game? 40? Does Tyson need to get 40?
It would have to be some crazy Champions Classic all-timer performance.
Like 15 threes or something. The threes balance out completely.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I do think we could see some three-point regression in this game. Like regression to positive numbers. I think that could happen.
So progression.
Yeah. My boy Jerry, Paranormal Base, always says positive regression, which I think is one of the funniest things ever. So
I do kind of like that.
Love you, Jerry. Miss you, Jerry. Okay. Prediction time?
I got do a little shout out to my preview article here. I think I had Duke winning this game 78 to 67. Maybe 78-68, I think it was. I think it's going to be like between 8 and 10 point game.
Okay. I don't hate that pick. Yeah, I got Duke winning. I got Duke covering. I have no idea by how much. I think Michigan State will play a lot better in this game. I just still don't think it will be enough. I think Duke's best is a little bit ahead of Michigan State's best right now. What do they shoot from three? That was the last thing I wanted to ask you. How many threes does Michigan State make in this game?
I don't know, but they will shoot 31% from three.
Okay. Understood. Got it. All right. Looking forward to this. This will be fun. One-on-one for a credential tomorrow. You're picking me up, and then we're riding to wherever to the Airbnb, and then we have like 4 hours to kill in Chicago.
Yep, we're gonna find a court, and I'm gonna go get me a credential.
We playing indoor or outdoor?
You can play wherever you want, my baby. We can set up a peach basket for all I care.
Okay, I would actually prefer to set up a peach basket. I think I have a better chance if that's. Can we play indoors at least? If we play outdoor, I'm not winning.
Yeah, we can play indoor.
I can't shoot in the wind.
Only Midas Sissoko can.
Windy City.